Mm.
You can.
You can.
I will. Ready. So about our book, the Art Ikera people, the children have never seen black person before, and the black person that we are talking about is Clark Slave. And in our book, I just want to know a little bit more about Clark Slave. Do you guys know anything about it?
Well, one thing, how much slaves does Clark have? You know?
I think he has one because I only heard about one slave in our book.
But why would he bring it with him?
I'm not sure. It didn't say that in the book. I think they should add that to the book if they make another copy or something. So, Jace, would you like to speak now?
Well, I think it's really creative how they have, in this book, it has pictures of real looking types of things, like real mountains, and some pictures that aren't real, just like
Most of these
colored.
probably are real.
I think they probably are.
Some paintings, maybe some mountains from like,
A long time ago,
yeah.
1840.
Because we all know that cameras weren't invented back then, and so they couldn't have took pictures of this. They probably like paintings or took pictures of them now, like monuments or something.
Yeah.
Like this kind of.
And like this. And
Go ahead, Jace. I already talked.
you can go, I just talked too.
Okay. And Lewis had gave a speech, and after the speech, the captains had gave out their peace medals. And I want to know a little bit more about the peace medals, even though it kind of already told us. And may I please see your book? So
Yes.
It shows a
Sure.
picture of
Thank you.
them. Right here, page 27.
Thank you. Here they are. See? And under it, it says the peace medals given out by Lewis and Clark feature President Jefferson's image. And this is a picture of people shaking hands, and it's a picture of the President of the United States.
And like I said last week in our book club, I think it's really I like it because it has kind of like sort of like a timeline,
But
kind of.
I don't
And-
think that they would mean to go over there, because like in the beginning of the book, there's a picture of the United States, and it only shows this part, and it's like showing that that's only the United States there. So I'm guessing they're heading out to find more land, because that's probably taken at the end. That was probably drawn at the end, maybe, of the journey, so they could like see how they.
Yeah, and
'Cause they
another
wouldn't
thing that I like about this book, I said it last week, it has dates. Monday, September 17th, 1804.
Yeah, like the dates and.
Also, remember when we was talking about the inside the book, like for example, one of the words terrible was spelled Terrible, but it's really spelled Terrible. And they probably like put the words like that because they wanted, like for some people that don't know how to read the word, they want to make it sound right for them so they can say it right.
Yeah, see, they, like it says over here that Jace pointed out, last week, that, that in the introduction, it says that neither Lewis and Clark could have won a spelling contest. Misspelled words are common in their journals. And how we spelled a couple words wrong. And how it keeps on showing.
Well, yeah, like they would spell the word wrong, but it would show next to the word how it's really spelled.
Like this.
Like,
Parentheses.
like hungry, they would spell it Hungery, but it's really spelled Hungry.
Why?
White. Yep.
What? No.
Hungry. There.
Can we just talk about this real quick?
Okay.
About Clark had thought that York might have gotten carried away because he had told Clark that he had told other people that he had once been a wild animal and that he had been captured by Clark. Also, he roared like a lion at the Arikara children and chased them around the village. And I want to know why was he chasing them around the village? Because that's kind of weird that he would chase them. And if they was playing a game, I don't really think they was playing a game.
And maybe he just probably doesn't know better. Because, like you said, he was a wild animal.
And in this book, there's a lot of pictures of Clark's illustrations of what he would see, and then he would draw it like this.
And we don't know what that is, but that's probably closest to a squirrel nowadays.
Because it looks like a squirrel, kind of.
Yeah.
Lewis and Clark had spent 4 days among the Tintin Sayaks, and the Tintin Sayaks is, I think,
Indian tribe, maybe?
yeah, maybe Indian tribes or whatever.
Because it should say here. It was a chapter. It was important enough to be a chapter.
Oh, and let's talk about the weather because it's somewhere in the book. It said the weather kept getting more winter-like. On October 24th, there were snow showers for the first time too. And also September on the 3rd, it had snow it started to get cold. Yeah, September 3rd, it started to get cold.
Oh, I thought you said that there was first showers in September.
And I wonder why on August 23rd, it said that, August 26th, it has snowed. It has snow.
Well, in the 6th chapter, what I noticed, it seems like there's a picture of showing two Indians on horses, it looks like killing buffalo to get them to eat them, right here.
I'm wondering why it says right here that Clark traded them cooked meats, and they gave them back watermelons. So why would they need the cooked meats if they already could get the buffalo and horses?
So, well, that's it.
Wait.
And I have one more thing to say.
Okay.
And the chapter crossing the Missouri, up the Wide Missouri, it said that the Missouri used to belong to France, but why would it belong to France if it's in the United States?
Well, maybe some people from France had made the bridge or something.
Bridge?
I mean, not bridge. I'm thinking about something else. Sorry.
The river?
Yeah.
But you can't make a river, really.
Well, not really, except for the water that you put in there, though.
You can't put water. Okay, never mind.
Sometimes you can put water in rivers.
Never mind. So, I think that's it.
Yeah.
About it.
Okay. Can you guys talk really quickly about what went well today in your book club?
I think what went well today was kind of like our talking back to each other.
Bouncing off each other.
Ideas.
Or how Robert would say one thing, and then he would say another, then I would come in on that, and
then
Robert would.
And then go back to you, and then go me.
And
then
it
keep
would
on going.
So you think you all shared in the conversation
Yeah.
pretty
Yes.
equally? And answered each other's questions? I think you did a good job of that too. I jotted that in my notes. I also like how you made connections to your thinking from last week or your last meeting. Okay? Connecting your conversations this week to last week was another good thing. What would you like to work on? Talk about that. What could you do better?
we could probably, we didn't share off our notes as much as we really wanted to. We shared a lot from the book today, so I think that we might need to share a little more from our notes next week.
Yes.
You agree?
Yep.
That's actually another strength that I put. I saw Robert using his notes quite a bit. Okay, and maybe Kyle and Jace, you supplemented and helped him out by finding some evidence in the text. Maybe where he was lacking, not having his book, you guys helped him out. And he
Yeah,
helped
like,
guide your conversations with his notes. So I think you guys did a great job overall today.
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. You have notes to talk off of? Let me think about where we were yesterday, Jenna, Audrey, KP. Something you said you were going to work on was just being more prepared to speak clearer. Caitlin, you want to speak more clearly about what you wanted to say, and then move on from chapter 12. How much reading did you guys get done yesterday?
We were just going to keep talking about that because we just started reading out there.
I'm at chapter 13 now because I read on the bus.
Okay, so you have something solid to speak on?
Yeah.
A topic or an issue that's still tugging at you? Okay.
I read a little bit of chapter 12 just now, but it seems like they haven't been at Uncle Henrik's house for a long time, but Anna Marie has memorized the whole path of going from his house to town. And it seems like they've only been there for a few days.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking, I read into chapter 12 also, and oh, I just forgot.
When you said that she was remembering the path to town, I actually thought that she was remembering because it said that she walked a little bit with her mom and then she came back, I think, and I thought she was remembering that path.
Oh well. Audrey, you haven't said anything yet.
Well, I was thinking in chapter 12, in chapter 11, when the two Nazis came to their house, I was wondering why they were there.
They were, even though they were in a different place, they were still checking for the Jews and Danish Jews.
So they checked every house.
Oh, okay.
They didn't just check in where Anna Marie lived.
Okay.
Denmark.
And I wanted to talk about the casket, and it reminded me of just the winter clothes reminded me of the book about the kids sledding, and they were taking the gold from their home country back to another place to keep it safe. It just reminded me of that because the Nazis were going to take them with it.
It said that Anna Marie and Ellen, they were only 10 or something. So I'm surprised that their mom would leave her alone with Christy sleeping.
Wasn't the dad there, though?
The dad was back in Copenhagen. And, well, I'm not really surprised because she doesn't have any other choice. And the mom might have just been thinking that she was going to go back to bed and it would be fine because the Nazis already came and they wouldn't come back the same day, especially with the lie they made up about the great aunt Berta dying.
But isn't there, oh wait, no, there isn't, sorry.
What?
I thought that, I thought there was another group still at the house that waiting to be taken.
In chapter 12, they left.
Yeah, that's right.
It just seems like it was so late because Christy was sleeping, and then, but why would they have a ton of people come over like at that late?
Because if they did it just in the daytime, it would be more lighter and it would be
They could
easier.
have done it at like 6 though, or something
But
like that.
it's,
Not like
the
really
sun still
late.
comes out then, and the Nazis would be able to see them better.
I was thinking that Mama said that there was 2 paths, the back path and the path to town. I was wondering which path she memorized, remembered. I forgot.
I think she knew both, but Anna Marie remembered the
Yeah.
path to town.
That's what I was thinking. I wasn't sure which path she was remembering. Yeah.
I'm going like back to pretty much the beginning. It said that they would deliver a legal newspaper. I was wondering why they would want the illegal newspaper.
Because I think it was because were you gonna talk?
You can go.
Okay. I think it was because they were talking about how the Jews are gonna it's like their plan. They like put the plan in the newspaper, well, the private newspaper.
And it would be
Well, it's-
illegal for the Nazis.
Yeah.
Because the
It
Nazis
really
wouldn't allow
wasn't a
that.
plan. It was saying stuff like
That
what
has
already
hap-
happened.
is happening. So it
Like
gets
the
them more
bombs.
aware
Yeah.
of what's happening around them.
They would be in big trouble if they got caught getting that, though.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They would be sent to a concentration camp.
Well, I was actually wondering that right now because it hasn't said anything about
Concentration camp?
Yeah, it hasn't said anything about Jews actually getting found and what would happen to them right now. But with my background knowledge, they usually got taken to concentration camps.
Yes. I agree with Jenna about the concentration camp because they haven't even said one word about it.
They've just hiding.
Yeah, they just said that they were hiding. I think that possibly it's not that time period yet because they might actually. It's 1943, and I don't know if it says that in your book, but it says it on mine. It's in 1943, and I'm not really sure what time period they started having Jews go to concentration camps. So I'm not really sure.
It says the Jews of Denmark are being relocated. They're being relocated, so maybe being relocated
going to Sweden.
is going to a concentration camp. Because right here it
They're
says
going to Sweden, too.
the Nazis won't stop. The Jews of Denmark are being relocated, so Ellen moves with the Johnsons and pretends to be part of the family.
We already read that part, though. That was...
Yeah, so I'm thinking relocated is a bad thing for the Jews.
I'm thinking relocate is like going to Sweden because that's where they're going.
But I don't think Ellen would have to move with the Johnsons if relocated was a good thing.
I think relocating is Ellen going with the Anna Marie. Anna Marie with to go to Uncle Henrik's house. Maybe that's
They
it.
already
went there.
Oh yeah,
That's moving, I think.
yeah.
Ellen moves with the Johnsons that would be moving to Uncle Hendrik's house.
I'm scared for chapter 13 because it's called Run as Fast as You Can.
Well, I'm into chapter 13 right now, and I'm thinking that it was just like a thought Mama said, because she said that where I am, she tripped over a thing, and she said because she was running really fast, so I think maybe she was just telling the girls that she was thinking, run as fast as you can, just to get home.
Nazis came.
Because she was late.
Okay.
Any other points you want to make today, girls?
Not really. No.
Decide really quickly one thing that you did well today. What worked for your team?
I think we had a good conversation. Like, we kept on going back to one idea.
And it was like bouncing off of each other.
Yeah.
Like Caitlin would say an idea, I talk back, and then she would talk back.
Okay. What one thing can you grow on? What one thing can you work on or improve on to do better next time at your meeting?
I think we could be more prepared to say something. Like, we could keep something in our notebook that we want to say and then share it right then, so we don't have to wait for somebody to think of an idea.
I think that we could work on like staying in one place, because we sort of talked about like one thing and then we just went to the next.
Can you decide on something right now that you can give yourselves as homework that you want to come back with ready to talk about? Is there some big theme or idea that's kind of tugging at you that you feel would be a great conversation starter and something for you to focus on for your next conversation?
Maybe if the Rosens get to Sweden safely, and then what happens to them next, if it says. And then if it doesn't say, I'm pretty sure we'll say what happens to Anna Marie's family next.
Actually, there's a chapter that says afterwards. Yeah, at the end.
Afterward, it's like
It's not actually a chapter. It's just like
just
an
like-
afterword. See. Oh, on the first line it says how much of Anna Marie's story is true. So I'm thinking it's just a retelling of that time period. It's not like a retelling of
the real story.
of the story. Yeah.
And
You might
this
answer
part,
some more of your wonderings or questions at the end of the book, right?
and it says Anna Marie Johnson is a child of my imagination.
Mhm.
So she sort of like made it up and like wrote a book about her.
Maybe she like studied biographies and nonfiction books about the Holocaust and people in the Holocaust to make up Anna Marie and Anna.
Authors often do that, don't they? They do a lot of research to prepare for their writing to make it believable, right? Okay, one other thing I want you guys to maybe think about, I think you gave yourselves a good start for next week. You spoke about relocation, and you were a little confused. Each of you had your own ideas about what that meant. I want you to think about perspective, because one of you spoke from the perspective of maybe the Nazis and how they were relocating the Jews, and Jenny, you thought that was a bad thing. And then Caitlin, you thought relocating meant moving them to someplace safe. So your perspective looked at relocation as a good thing. It depends on who's doing the relocating, who's thinking about whose perspective it is.
Because it said they were taking the Rosens and the other people to Sweden, and that's where they were going.
So be ready to maybe say more about that next week too.
Okay.
Okay, do some more thinking about it. Okay, great job, girls.
7 because
You hasn't gotten that far yet.
Yeah, Eve hasn't gotten, or neither have we gotten all the way up, but
Okay.
and we haven't really understood like the 7 through 8, so we're gonna like reread and stuff on the weekend.
Okay, so regardless of where you're at page-wise or chapter-wise, you've already met a couple of times and done enough deep thinking to carry your thoughts on a topic.
Yeah.
Okay? So, and Caitlin, you started to say something about the work that you wanted to do. What were you going to say?
Oh, last week Miss Brinson had suggested to
expand our talk and to try to get everyone to talk like equally. So
Okay. So stronger voice, Eve?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. No pressure, right? Okay. So just natural talk, guys.
okay.
Okay. You're ready.
Okay, so where I left off, I had just gotten up to chapter 8, but since we're going to chapter 7, she had met Little Turtle, and he had become her friend, along with Grandfather Shagbark.
Yeah.
Remember him from the beginning of the journey?
Because they went over the mountains and everything, all that. And I was kind of wondering, it did explain it, but why they would just strap a baby to their cradle thing.
It did explain.
It did explain it, but I just didn't really get the Indian way of why they would do that. I know it was to get their strength, but it must be really different if she came there as a baby and they had her do that.
Well, I think it had to.
The Indian way just seems different from, our way.
Now she's turning into an Indian, and she said she wouldn't.
Chapter 7.
I know.
Okay, so
It is in chapter 7.
yeah, but the reason they strapped the babies to the board was to keep their strength and to have them suffer without complaining, because all they can really do is whine, but they won't really. But they
That's a
finally
reason
figure out
why
that they won't get attention,
Won't
and
do
when
that
they
'cause
want it,
no
when
one
they
pays
get it.
attention to the baby, that's why they just hang it on a tree or whatever.
Well, yeah, I think that's just to tell them that they can't complain, and that's not how the Indians roll.
It's not the Indian ways.
So, Molly. What do you think of Molly? How far do you think she's come into the Indians?
She's getting there. She's learning the ways, and she said she wouldn't. She's saying I'm never going to do this. This isn't something I would do. My parents told me I shouldn't do this, so I won't. Now she's kind of getting away from her promise to herself.
Yeah, right here it says, what could she do? Oh, what? No. Molly Jemison is turning into an Indian. What could she do? Oh, what could she do?
Which chapter? 8?
Yeah, and she had got scolded by
Squirrel Woman.
Squirrel Woman? Yeah.
And
And
the Indians around her kept saying, you shouldn't treat a child like that. Not a child, but it said she was about 12. So, and I was wondering, later in the book, if because on the back it said that she had a choice to go back home or stay with the Indians, and I was wondering what she chose.
Yeah.
Which one she chose.
Even though towards the end of the book, I'm wondering about that too. Is she gonna become a Indian and stay with them, or is she gonna go back?
tell me more about that.
Well, see, Molly, she hasn't really became an Indian yet, but she's in the stage of becoming one, and if she does, maybe she might want to stay with them.
Because she might forget her ways
Yeah.
and become more Indian than white girl. And I was wondering if, how Mary, she ran away from the cornfields. I was kind of thinking about that, and
She didn't run away from the cornfields. She went to the cornfields alone, so she could.
No, not that part. When she ran away, and when Little Turtle, she found Little Turtle.
Yeah.
When she ran away from the cornfields, and I was kind of thinking about that and how, I was thinking what would have happened if Little Turtle hadn't come.
Yeah.
If she could have made it back, if she would just sat there,
For hours and hours.
because she was crying, it said.